Hello, Scorpios. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Happy full moon in Capricorn. All right, and the 7-7 portal is still open until 7-11. So let's get into it. Let us get into it. These readings are timeless, so you'll see it whenever you're supposed to see it. So you may be watching it on the 10th of July, 2025. And so, like I said, the readings are timeless. So portal is still open. Some things that you can do is you can journal on that 7-7 portal being open. Um, you can um, you can meditate on some of the things that you want to do. You can meditate or visualize stepping through a radiant doorway. And this is really going to be centered around whatever generational cycle, chain, or curse you are assigned to break, right? So the goal is to pray about whatever generational cycle, chain, or chain you're supposed to break. Pluto is currently retrograde, which is the judgment card, right? And what else is retrograde? Neptune is retrograde. So Neptune is retrograde in Aries, Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius. And so those right now are the two planets that are currently retrograde. We're going to have, I want to say, 3 more planets that go retrograde in July. So getting in front of all of that information on what you can do during retrograde is on my TikTok and also on YouTube Shorts. You can go check those out. But so for right now, while you're getting these downloads and all this information that's coming to you, these upgrades, these intuitive messages that's coming through, and you're trying to break karmic cycles, and you're trying to get soul aligned, get your soul aligned. You're trying to get deeper spiritual awareness. All of these things you're trying to do. You can journal. What truth are you awakening to? You can also meditate or visualize stepping through a radiant doorway. You can also set or refine your intentions. You can also do energy clearing or spiritual protection work. You can also listen closely to signs, synchronicities, and repeating number patterns. Main thing you don't want to do is rush, because everybody is breaking some kind of generational cycle, chain, and curse. And because it is an Aquarius, and like you, Aquarius is ruled by 2 planets, there are going to be some people who are going to try to make you look foolish for breaking a generational cycle, chain, and curse. So that's going to require separation, like moving away from the pact, separating yourself from the pack of people who are trying to judge you. Oh, you're the first person to do such and such. So expect some kind of kickback, like somebody saying, basically, that's not going to work. Some kind of, judgment from people. Oh, that's not going to work. You're just being rebellious, because Aquarius is ruled by a rebellious planet, Uranus. So expect some people to try to make you look like a fool for doing something that's different from what other people are in your family are expecting for you to do. So a lot of people are experiencing that. So let's just dive right into tarot. Let's get started. Close out the cycle in love. Yeah, closing out a cycle in love. Yeah, so when you're trying to do something different than what your family expects for you to do, trust and believe you're going to have family members they're going to be the first ones to try to make you look like boo-boo, the fool, or homie, the clown. So source is saying, to you, when you're closing out cycles in love, but you're closing them out and enforcing boundaries. Setting and enforcing boundaries. Because some of these people don't think that whatever you're trying to do, you're going to be the first one in your family to do it. They don't think it's going to work anyway, because it wasn't them, right? They don't know what their assignment is, but they think your assignment is not going to work. So you're going to have to remove yourself from their energy altogether. So you're closing out a cycle in love. Yeah, because 2 people were paid. They're paying attention to the wrong energies. They're paying attention to the wrong energies. If money is involved, then they're paying attention to it. And so source is saying to you, they're paying attention to the wrong thing. Yeah, there's a Taurus involved. If it's something about money being made or growing money, as far as you're concerned. That's not what moves you. That's not what moves you. So yeah, here's a magician card. So as far as you're concerned, something could be dark magician. It could be sending out a dark message as far as you're concerned. Just because, like in your mind, you could be saying all money is not good money, right? So source is saying to you, some people, they want to just jump on something because they feel like somebody's money is growing. They want to just jump on the bandwagon because they feel like because they could be moved by, excuse me, they could be moved by money, somebody's money growing. For you, you may not be moved by that. So that's where you may have to cut ties. That's where you have to say, no, we're not motivated by the same thing. That's where the number 4 comes in, where you say, okay, I need to pray about something because we're not motivated by the same things. So I need to get to the root of something. This is to my root chakra. I need to find out where this started. I need to find out where this obsession almost with money came from. Whose side of the family does this come from? Whose side of the family would this obsession with money come from? Right? Where did this come from? Because somebody likes partying and they like money. Right? So if it's a party to be found, they there, their face is in the place. If it's money flowing, they right there. That's what motivates this energy. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is. That's what they're motivated by. They're motivated by music, doesn't matter what frequency it's on, and they're motivated by money. So source is saying to you, you're trying to get to the root of something, and that's root chakra, because you're trying to figure out how did two energies inherit this? How did these two inherit this? Now that something is behind you, you're grateful that something is behind you, but now people are kind of talking about you behind your back, right? So you're like, okay, wait a minute now. Just hold on, cowpo. What is going on? Right? So you're saying, somebody is now saying, what didn't I pay attention to? Right? As far as family is concerned, like what didn't I see? What didn't I pay attention to? Because it almost looks like for somebody, whoever you are, and again, take only what resonates with you, that somebody can be bought for the right price. Somebody would bring a tower down on you. Remember, one of your ruling planets is the tower card. So judgment card is one of your planets, but the tower card is your other one. So somebody is now realizing, okay, hold on. I need to pay more attention to something. This is somebody's generational cycle chain and curse that they're breaking. Something wasn't immediately clear at first, but now something is very clear, that something has awakened in somebody around money. Two people, when they feel like, it's like in certain spaces, something feels like for them, money, it's like another spirit comes out. Another spirit comes out. They're talking about people behind their back. Money is flowing. They're out here partying and, partying hard like they teenagers. And you're seeing something in the physical realm. Remember, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. So a lot of it has to do with the energies that they're around, right? Somebody got a tattoo on their back, sprawled across their back, like somebody's hanging out with some energies. Not to say that that's no judgment in that, but so it's just saying to you, somebody's hanging around with some energies who is just like, what is this? What, pray tell, is going on? So anyway, somebody is, like hanging out with some dark magician energy, and you're seeing some things in the physical realm that you may not recognize. Whoever you are, you may not recognize some things. But here we have the Queen of Cups. You're now pouring into yourself like never before. You're like, okay, I need to, get clear. Something's going on behind your back. It could be, 2 guys, 3 girls hanging out. But somebody's now really pouring into themselves because they're really starting to see something like, okay, money is like the motivating factor here. And there is a lone wolf energy who's really, really kind of got their eye on 5 energies here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And they've turned their attention to some energies. They've been paying a lot of attention to. So whoever this is, it could be 5 members of your family that people are now paying attention to. 3 in particular. So the motivation is different. So for 2 of them, it's looking for their demons. Their demons looks like it's money. So there's like, okay, they like music, they had this spirit of like um they're impulsive. So somebody has been studying somebody's family. That's what this is. So somebody very rich has been studying somebody's family, and they're looking at possibly somebody's kids. They could be adults, but nevertheless, if they're studying somebody, like, okay, okay, I'm paying attention, and I'm gonna pay money for something. So somebody's seeing that 2 of these energies are karmics. They are impulsive, right? Um, they like to party. They like to spend money. But 3 of them, um, something around sacral chakra. Oh, and then the other 2, hold on, the other 2, this karmic, these 2 that like to hang out with each other, they're impulsive. They could get like wild and like break out in a fight, whatever. They fiery, right? They could get fired up easily, right? So this could be like toxic energy, like toxic masculine energy. So if they get a little alcohol or whatever in them, that fire mixed with that alcohol, next thing you know, a fight breaks out, and so somebody that could easily be a trigger. Somebody could like easily pay for somebody for something. So this is where somebody is really getting into prayer warrior mode at this point. As far as the 3 energies here, somebody's starting to see this. Somebody has a tattoo, maybe on their back. Um, so this is you, the Queen of Cups here, whether you're a man or woman here, you're really surrendering to source now. Like, oh my God, okay, I didn't see something coming here. Almost like these, if they're young adults, like they're being targeted. That's what this is. Like people are paying attention. They might be paying somebody money right now, but people are paying attention. Yeah, so here we have the 4 of Pentacles here. So somebody is learning how to be a little bit more conservative with their time and money, and kind of like holding on to, like really kind of holding on to, like I said, just being conservative with their time, and money, because what's coming in between a legacy here, this is 4 and 6 of Pentacles, is this loner energy, this lone wolf energy. And they're just watching. They're just sitting back and watching, because they're watching energy's demons. They're watching people's demons. And they have enough money to kind of sort of like, just kind of sort of sit back and watch. They like to see who's impulsive, see what people are saying about people behind their back, seeing who's really compassionate, and seeing who's mirroring compassion, like who's pretending to be compassionate here. Yeah. So source is saying, they're also checking to see who's expanding. Like they're just watching. They're just kind of like, watching. Whoever this energy is watching. They're watching to see who's expanding, um, seeing what they want to pay attention to. In other words, seeing who's expanding, who's free spirited, who's ruthless, like who talks about whom behind their backs. Um, You have to know the spirit of a wolf. But source is saying to you, you know, you're taking a leap of faith and just praying. That's seeing here in your cards. Somebody is really structuring their prayer life because somebody is just kind of, you know, like I said, they're a loner. They just kind of sit back and just listen, just watch. hmm What somebody's learning how to do is move on. You're learning how to move on. Um, you're learning how to move on quietly through your own storms. This is what a lot of people do when you're in spaces. And somebody's learning how to just move on when you're in spaces and you got people that just kind of sit back and observe. Yeah. So you're having an awakening, a tower. You're having a total recall. Yeah, you're having a total recall. Something. Just from like talking to some energies, you're having a total recall. Hmm. Yeah, somebody's learning how to pay attention. Somebody's learning how to pay better attention to things. Here's the Eight of Pentacles here. Yeah, that somebody is holding on to something that could link someone to somebody else, right? Or link someone to something else. hmm Like to someone's legacy. I'm saying somebody has, I'm saying you have multiple streams of income here. This is where your inspiration is changing. This is where you're taking a leap of faith. I don't feel like somebody needs to really have any fear because looking at this right here, you're divinely protected. This is a tower card here. You're divinely protected, and the towers are not always a bad thing. It's just a total recall, and that's why I started out the reading by saying 7-7 portal is still open, and excuse me, and it's a full moon in Capricorn. This is where this is a new tradition for you, where you're really praying what exactly is your generational cycle chain or curse that you're breaking. And it's really to pay more attention to this loner in the room. Pay more attention to people who just kind of, you know, the one that's by themselves. Because they don't operate in fear. That's what source trying to tell somebody. Like loners don't operate in fear. They don't by themselves. They're not operating in fear. They are alone for a reason. And that's not always because they're running from something. So here's the right here. They're going through some people are going through a some people are going through a transition. Some people are they're going through a rite of passage, like they're for source though. Like they're just it's like in a spiritual sense, they're traveling through space and time. They are finding out what their generational cycle chain and curse that they need to break. So this person here is alone. This is genderless here. Whoever you are, this is what you're learning how to connect with, right? Just because somebody is by themselves doesn't mean everybody need to be suspicious or nervous or scared. Like, oh my God, who is this person? What are they for? You know, all of this, right? So somebody's like, okay, we need to hold on to something just in case we got this information, blah, blah, blah. So it's like you can, if you want to, and let a tower fall on you, or you can realize that you have a specific assignment yourself um, to break some kind of a generational cycle chain and curse within your own family, right? and who you pay attention to, because this could cause a tower to fall on you, on your own money. That's what Source is trying to tell somebody. Yeah, plenty of people are by themselves. Plenty of people are loners. And plenty of people are genuinely compassionate. But some people are just traveling through space and time. Some people have trusted people, and they're trying to create something new for them. So they're trying to create space for new friendships. They're trying to create space for new this, trying to create space for new that. And then they have genuine, people who are just all about money. So something about your spirit is trying to differentiate between the two. Like the more time you spend around energies who are loners, you're learning the difference between the two. Who is um, like practicing dark magic and who's into light magic, right? That's what I mean, like dark magic or dark moon magic, or who's into, enlightening people. That's light, telling people about dark moon stuff. That you're trying to find attention, who's paying attention to something. But this is somebody's family here. That somebody's starting to notice something. Somebody's starting to pay more attention to their own family members, and starting to see some of their own family members. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for certain family members to sell. Like, hey, somebody offer them some money. Hey, they'll let a tower fall on you just as quick as you bat an eyelash. They'll partner with somebody else in a heartbeat. This is within your own family. And so somebody is really learning wolf energy, like what pack people are running with, depending on basically kind of like what their love language is. Some people, they realize, some people, they'll hold on to something and try to link you up with something, or try to bring a tower down on you, and they'll just move on. They hear certain conversation, they just move on. They let a tower fall on somebody else. They're like, you know what, if they about that, they that paranoid, because they're around people that's always trying to, take their money from them or whatever. And if they got to be that guarded, then hey, you're not trying to be in the same tower and let the tower fall on you. So here's the Seven of Swords here. Yeah. You're closing something out. And what you're closing out is learning that everybody is not saying something negative about you behind your back. When people walk away, some people don't think about making disparaging comments about people. They just walk, they just move on. They just literally just move on. They're like literally like rite of passage. They just moving on. Like some people won't do you some injustice behind your back and talk about you behind your back. They ain't thinking about that. They just moving through life, just trying to find their soul tribe. Like they're trying to find their group of people, and that's it. That's it. So that's what I'm saying here in your readings here. Somebody's really learning, starting to pay more attention to their family, find out what their purpose in their generational cycle chain and curse is in their own family. Which one that needs to be broken in your own family, more so than outside of yourself, because that could really cause the tower to fall on you. That's what a lot of people are learning, is like they're so busy focusing on the outside. I can't trust this person, this person, this person. I had to hold on to this just in case somebody says something. I got this information I can use against somebody else, and then bang, the tower falls on them. What comes to mind, what comes to memory is this story, and this is an older story. This guy had won a large lawsuit, I want to say, in his company, from his company. I can't remember exactly what company it was. This is years ago, probably like 15 years ago. And somewhere in the paperwork, he was not supposed to mention it. Like him or his family was not supposed to mention anything about them winning the money. I think it was like, whatever kind of clause or whatever it is. They weren't supposed to say anything. Or he had to forfeit the winnings, whatever because he won the lawsuit against his company. Lo and behold, the teenage daughter got on social media and said, my dad won all this. They had to give all the money back, right? Point is, Source is saying, sometimes people don't realize their own family members are causing them tower moment because they're so busy looking on the outside. That man probably didn't even have the money for 24 hours before, in hindsight, he may have said, I probably should have never shared. I should have never shared this information with my own family, like at least my teenagers. I should have never said anything. But that's what's happening here. Somebody kind of like feel like they in between two energies. They paid for something that's in between two energies, and just in case somebody say something, 8 and 4 is 12. They're gonna speak up. They're gonna say, "Oh, I got this information," almost as leverage. But okay, good luck. Source is saying this right here. It end up causing a tower on somebody. This is where, again, prayer warrior comes in, closing out cycles in love. This is where somebody's going to really have to learn how to trust source, really learn how to trust source, and just close out cycles in love. Because some people have dealt with some ruthless energies in the past. Everybody gets that. But at some point, that's just exhausting. That's just exhausting. Something's going to end up going up in flames. Somebody's going to end up just burning something. Like, you know what? It's not even worth even holding on to something. It's not even worth it. Yeah, you're on top of something. Yeah, you're on top of something. Like, because you're trying to learn how to close out cycles in love and not close out cycles in hate, right? Because again, people are not always talking about people behind their back. If you're a reader, if you are a reader, you really want to discipline yourself not to put your personal business on social media, because there's enough information you can draw from. Like literally, you can draw from, you saw something on a bus or a train from somebody else's life that you may be drawing from that experience in your reading. It may come back to memory, but that can be helping somebody else. It has nothing to do with you directly. It can be indirectly. That could be helping somebody else. The source is saying there are people out here, black, white, whoever, skin color, different races, ethnicities, nationalities, who will pay for and pay attention to energies where they feel like they are impulsive, or energies who they feel like they have mental issues, or like they have sexual problems, or whatever the case may be, who are just transitioning through life. And, you know, if they felt like if they even caught wind that somebody was talking about them behind their back, you see this 7 of Swords right here. They feel like somebody's making some kind of disparaging comments behind their back. You know, they'll take them to court and take them for everything they had. I mean, they bring a whole tower down on people. So Source is saying to you, some people are like that. They are ruthless like that because they've had to deal with people that felt like something was their way or the highway as teenagers. They've dealt with that dark emperor energy who literally tried to, who bullied them. But some people, they go the other way. They become prayer warriors. They become prayer warriors. So it's saying you got to decide which side you're going to be on. So you're getting the message loud and clear. Here's the Page of Cups here, because younger people are at stake here. That's what people are starting to realize, is like younger people are at stake here. But somebody younger may have said something to you about, somebody might have said something, somebody might have said something really, emotionally immature to you, that really, really was had you deep in your emotions about something. It could have been an older person that said something you emotionally immature to you. They had you deep in your emotions about something. Could have been about somebody's weight, or like your weight, because I'm seeing a pig with some wings or something. I don't know. Who knows what somebody said? But Source is saying to you, I mean, maybe somebody don't eat pig. I don't know. Who knows? I just see a pig on here with some wings. Whatever it was, Source is saying it's a different way of sending a message to people who are emotionally immature. And this here is showing me that as a prayer warrior, you can either choose to pay attention to something. This is your generational cycle chain of curse. You can either choose to pay attention to something and let that grow into rage. This right here, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands here. Or you can free yourself and say, I'm a pray about it. I'm gonna let Source handle something. I'm gonna let Source handle something. the immediate feeling for some people is like, okay, they're going to handle it themselves until they have to come up against God and realize their arms are too short to box with God. That's when they have a tower moment, and then bang, that tower just fall on them, and then they look like something on the cartoons. So source is saying you have resorted to, yeah, I'm going to pray about it. You know what? Just, give it to God, whatever. So you're seeing something from you, resolving something in your spirit, resolving something in your spirit. And so somebody actually sees you as a guardian angel, actually. That's what I'm seeing here. And you'd be surprised at how things travel through the air. Loners pick up on loner energy. Loners, if they can catch wind of evil, they can also catch wind of good. They can catch wind of energies who are predator energies, or they catch energy or people who will pray for you or prey on you, right? The homophone, pray or pray. So it's just saying somebody knows the difference between they come in contact with people who are genuine, like people who are genuinely compassionate, and people who are mirroring compassion. So somebody's starting to understand everything that's being said about people behind their back, is not negative. Just because they could be watching somebody. You can be watching somebody on social media and assuming something. Here's the Ten of Pentacles here. Some people are just literally just going through life. Some people are just, trying to they've dealt with some ruthless people and just trying to find their way. Here we have the Ten of Pentacles here. But somebody sees you as a guardian angel. They actually, you and somebody else, they see y'all as see you and somebody as a guardian angel. So, but they paid attention. Somebody paid attention. Like somebody heard you say this. What this is, somebody heard you say something, and it caused them to pause for a second. Here's the Ten of Pentacles here. Because people know their worth and their value. You're like, something you said to somebody was triggering, and they feel like you may have been connected to something, even if you weren't. Yeah, loners are loners get other loners. I'll just put it that way. So yeah, but whoever this is, somebody sees you as you and somebody else. They see you and somebody. They were confused about you and somebody before, but they see you and somebody actually and somebody is has something to do with legal, something having to do with something in the legal field. This is number 7, deals with the justice. Somebody sees two people as angels. They see them as guardian angels, like they see something from a higher frequency. Like they spend enough time around low vibrating energies to know, like, okay, this, nah, like somebody would know, like, okay, this is not that, like, yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing for your reading. Yeah. So somebody saved themselves. Yeah, you've learned how to save yourself, and other people learn how to save themselves too. Yeah, around other energies. Yeah, so that's the message that I'm seeing for you in your card. Somebody could also have love coming across their path too. Somebody, I don't know, somebody had love coming across their path. But somebody's ex who was jealous wanted to send somebody a message. Somebody's ex was saying they were saving somebody from something, like a sex industry or something. Like, who in the world? Child, this sound like one of those TV shows. Mm, mm, mm. If this is somebody's ex that's saying that their person was a part of a sex industry, who in the world's ex? Yeah, I couldn't. If this is my ex, I couldn't see them getting back together with somebody who would say something like that. That is just ridiculous. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing for you in the cards. But somebody sees you and somebody as a guardian angel. That's what this is. Hmm. Yeah, like some kind of connection was made. Like y'all are connected. So this for something, it feels like somebody there's like no whoever this is, even if they are moving on from something. Um, the energy I'm picking up is like no hard feelings or anything like that. Like if they were to see somebody, they would still be like, hey, hi, or you know. Mm. Yeah, I don't get any negativity out of excuse me, I don't get any negativity out of your reading. I'm just kind of like looking at just like I read cards upright up in reverse, and I read the numbers from to the light and dark side of numbers. Hmm. Yeah, but that's my take on somebody's entire reading. If you do a total recall of like, it doesn't matter how long or short amount of time you spent around people, all the answers that you find about your assessment from something with your emotional brilliance, you'll have the answers from within. But somebody who you may have been around for a short period of time, and I say you may have short because I'm seeing the 6 and 7 here. You talk to somebody for a short period of time. It could have been one time. Looking at this right here, 6 and 7, and they caught wind of something that you spent a lot of time. You and somebody spent a lot of time around some other energies, and y'all may have created something, right? For them, something triggered a feeling of some people were ruthless. It reminded them of how ruthless an environment they may have come from. That was people were just ruthless towards them. Um, and that's what caused them to just like move on and just so it's not even personal. It's something that's like wasn't even personal towards maybe you and somebody else. Somebody could have felt like you and somebody else was very nurturing though. But they may have still closed something out because somebody could have been dealing with in the legal field because I'm looking at the number 7. That's the justice card. Yeah, because for somebody to be because 6 is like the letter. I mean, excuse me, letter. The number 6. Oh my goodness, I was thinking about the Pythagorean table and I was thinking about the letters and numbers together. But anyway, but I was looking at this here and I was looking at this number and I was like, yeah, for somebody to be kind of open, somebody felt like they were in a very nurturing environment. I feel like somebody does because, but being connected to certain energies, somebody heard something. That's what this is. Somebody heard something that connected you and somebody else to a group of energies. What's the other side of that? Okay. So the other side of temperance would be Gemini. So and Gemini rules third house. So it's like you and somebody must have communicated. Like y'all must have spent some time around and created some kind of a bond with a ruthless group of energies. And that's why, okay. So it wasn't you, it was so Scorpio wasn't you and somebody else. It was really who you're connected with that somebody made a connection. That's what this is. They actually saw you and somebody as actually being guardian angels, being compassionate. All right. Now there it is. Your ancestors are proud of you. See? There it is. Somebody has a bitter ex lover that wants you. I don't even know what that's about. Sacral. Whenever I see that card right there, the bitter ex's lover wants somebody. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh, too much bitterness going on in the world. So heart chakra cleanse. Yeah. Somebody's somebody is somebody has the right heart towards you, like you and somebody else. Like somebody's heart is in the right place, but somebody pays attention very well. Like somebody really, when they catch wind of something, like people are connected to something that was traumatic for them. Like for you, that's what you and somebody have in common. If somebody were to say something to you that connected you to a past that was traumatic, that's where you move on. And somebody else is the same way. And you're a lone wolf, and so are they. hmm Don't give yourself a headache. So, whoever these two energies are, it looks like there's two earth signs though. Maybe earth and fire. So somebody got paid to do something, or somebody either paid you or whatever, something around a religious organization or whatever. But their plan to disrupt your money actually backfired because you're praying and meditating more now, right? So get some fresh air. It's time to heal your wounded warrior. That's your Chiron, Chiron. You need your time of birth if you pull your birth chart for that. But don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. And so if somebody hasn't been completely honest with you, whoever this religious group is for somebody, hasn't been completely honest with you about something, but you're making a list of pros and cons and you're doing the mirror work. Yeah. But that's what happens when people make connections with, they stay connected to ruthless energies. It's almost like you're always in survival mode. So somebody learn how to save themselves. So I was like, wait a minute now. Mm, this is like a TV show. All right, 26. I am tactful. So you have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs. So yeah, you're staying focused. You're staying focused, but it's somebody that somebody could have been doing business with has not been completely honest about something as far as money is concerned. Like that's why somebody is like, okay, figuring out what generational cycle chain and curse is supposed to be broken in your own family so that somebody is kind of like not all over the place. Like, like the energy is in the wrong place, but they got to be ruthless. Like, I got to stomp out everybody's fire. I'm so mad. I don't know where to put all this energy. That's an interesting reading. Yep. So, goddess of the north. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, you're tactful, and again, you're staying focused on your purpose. Yeah, you're not trying to get looped into no madness around money and being ruthless to people. And there are gonna be some people that think you turned your back on them, whoever you are, but you're not. You're trying to expand your business or whatever kind of business you have. You're trying to save yourself a bunch of drama and stress, unnecessary. Yeah. But this is what I see. Let me see if there's anything else, any last minute messages here. I think this is it. Where's the Moonology deck? Okay, here we go. For those of you all who read cards, these are the Moonology deck. The Oracle deck. They've been out for quite some time. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, communication is key. Gemini rules third house. Yeah. So communication is key. And there's many ways of communicating, not just verbally. Some people, just like I said, they just move on when they feel like something was triggered and something connects them to something that was extremely traumatic um, for them. And that's their communication. Like they can feel nurtured and feel safe at first, but something was said that was traumatic in an environment. And it looks like maybe a religious environment that just wasn't very nurturing for them. So here we have, look to the stars. Yeah, it wasn't nurturing for them or their child or something that they're moving on from. Yeah. Hmm. That's what I have for you. Yeah, that's what I have for you, Leah. Yeah, somebody really went through it. Like somebody was attacked with a weapon in their past. I mean, it just somebody really went through it. Um, mm. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing in the cards. All right, bye.